Hello there, welcome, and we're going to be talking about the Makarov, one of the most underappreciated concealed carry handguns on the market now. The Makarov pistol was originally produced by the Soviet Union starting in 1951. It was a standard Soviet sidearm from 1951 through 1991 and continues to be in service in several former Soviet satellite countries. It also is in service right now in Vietnam, Cuba, North Korea, and in some areas in China, and still to this day. It replaced the Tokarev TT-33 pistol that was produced in 1933, which in turn replaced the Nagant 1895 revolver. One of the shortcomings as far as the TT-33 was concerned is that the TT-33 magazine release was located right here, approximately right here on the pistol, and the grips on the pistol did not protrude as far outward as the Makarovs do. So unfortunately it had the unintended effect of whenever the gun was withdrawn from the holster, it would accidentally trip that magazine release and accidentally eject the magazine. Not the best type of situation to be in when you're in the middle of combat or you're needing to use the gun for self-defense or anything like that. After the end of World War II, or the Great Patriotic War as the Soviets called it, the Walther factory in eastern Germany fell under their jurisdiction, which is why the Makarov pistol, I'll lift it up here just a little bit so you can see more of the design elements, looks an awful lot like a Walther pistol, and that's the reason why. So it's essentially a Walther design, much like a lot of your blowback semi-automatic pistols, like I'll show you for example here one moment. The Bursa 380 right here. No mistake in the similarity there. Very close in terms of features, overall design, and all that. The Makarov holds a slight edge in 380 insofar as the cartridges are a little bit larger. So this one here is the standard 380. I'll zoom in on it so you can get a better look at it. Alright. So that's a 9mm by 17mm. And then right next to it I'll place the standard Makarov 9mm by 18mm. So what that means is the case is 1mm larger than on the 380. So just a little bit more powerful. That's one of the reasons why I prefer it over the 380. Another reason why is that these days with ammunition, the price that it is, there's almost no difference between the cost of 380 ammunition versus 9x18 Makarov. So you get a little bit more oomph for just a little bit more money, which is really nice. So back to as far as why the Soviets replaced the Tokarev with it. Another reason why they replaced the Tokarev with this particular pistol is that, as one may know, it gets really cold in Eastern European countries, and so one of the obvious benefits is that because the trigger guard is so large with respect to the gun, it can be easily held within a gloved hand. So I've got my glove on here, and it doesn't take very much to get your finger in the trigger area there, even wearing a glove. I'll zoom out real quick so you can actually see that there. So even while wearing gloves, you can get in to actually use the pistol without having to put it, without having to cock the hammer and put it in the single action mode. So that's very handy. Now, as far as the Makarov is concerned, another thing that makes it popular is how easy it is to take down or to clean. Very easy. Probably one of the easiest pistols that you can actually disassemble. And to do that, first thing that we need to do is make sure that the gun is on fire mode. Down on this guy is fire, and then up is safe, which is the reverse of what most pistols are. So we got to make sure that it's in fire mode, and then the magazine release is down here. So they relocated the magazine release from the Tokarev here to on the Makarov down here. So we want to eject the magazine, pull that guy out, and then the trigger guard also functions as a takedown lever. So we just simply pull this guy down and off to the side a little bit, and then just simply pull the slide back, and then up, and then off the frame it is. And there we've got both pieces of the pistol apart, and then we can go ahead and slide the spring off if we want from the barrel. There's a larger end and a smaller end. The smaller end goes in first, larger end stays towards the end of the slide. There's a reason for that, just the way it works better that way. And the barrel is affixed to the actual frame, so that has a couple nice neat little advantages. Number one, it allows for a better accuracy than you would expect for this size of gun, because it doesn't have that tilting barrel like most semi-automatics do, and also for the ease of cleaning. You don't have to worry about removing the barrel from the assembly as well, because this is about as far as you need to go to disassemble the pistol for cleaning. Here you can definitely see down into the magazine well, making it real easy to clean with like a toothbrush or a Q-tip or anything like that you might need. Cleaning the barrel is also real easy. You can just see right down Main Street. There we go. Real easy to see. And then of course assembly is reverse. Put the slide spring back on the barrel. Again, small end in first. It's going to be nice and tight, which is a good thing. And then the slide back on, starting right like this, putting the spring into the forward part of the assembly, and then pulling it all the way back, and then back on again. And then finally putting the trigger guard back into place, and then using the safety to decock the pistol. And then if you want, just go ahead and put the magazine right back in the pistol. And there we are. And that's pretty much assembly and disassembly, or the reverse order. That's pretty much all there is to it. That's also one of the reasons why the Makarov is so popular. Get a little bit more power than a 380, and it's just as easy to clean. And of course, with the Makarov, you still have choice of ammunition. This right here is what I currently carry in it right now. This Russian Silver Bear. I'll zoom in on it real quick. Hollow point ammunition there, non-reloadable. It's a zinc case there. And then there's also commercial ammunition available. Standard ball ammunition. There's the Barnaul, which is a lacquer-coated steel case on that guy. One of the things I do want to show you too with relation to the 380 is you might not be able to see it too easily in the video, but the 380 is just a tad bit narrower than the 9x18, and there's a reason for that. Essentially the bullet diameter for the 380 and for the 9mm NATO is about the same, and so the Soviet designers designed the Makarov cartridge to be just a little bit wider to keep their ammunition from being used in Allied, in other words, NATO firearms. So that was a deliberate decision on their part. So that about pretty much wraps it up as far as the Makarov is concerned, and why I like it as a nice self-defense sidearm. If you have anything to add or any comments, questions, please leave them below, and I thank you very much for watching.